Hey guys, this is showing my network monitoring system. I'm using a program called Achinga to monitor everything. I have it running on this little netbook down here. It needs a MySQL database, so just keep that in mind. It is based off Nagios, which is it branched about 2 years ago. Functionality, they're pretty much the same. They can connect to the same kind of plugins and stuff. So the main reason I use it is for the plugins, and with the plugins you can monitor certain attributes of systems, and you can also monitor if the systems are up as well. So you can monitor, I'm monitoring pretty much all the computers over here. So that netbook is monitoring itself, monitoring the FreeNAS box, the pfSense router, the web server over there, and I'm monitoring my Bitcoin miner. It's also my desktop, but when it's my desktop it's not monitoring it. And it is also monitoring my wireless access point. So we can see here that I have 5 healthy hosts and 1 that's down, so you can see pretty much everything's up. Sorry if the video is really blurry, but I'll just explain what I'm showing. So this is showing that my Bitcoin miner is down, and actually it would normally show it as up because it can ping it, but I have it set so that only if it can connect to the client, the Nagios plugin on it, will it say that this one's healthy, this specific one. So it says that it's down right now, but I also have notifications off on it because I reboot my desktop all the time. So you can set this thing up to notify you, and I have it set to email me pretty much whenever there's any problems. There's a lot of settings you can go through. I really recommend, if you're going to do this kind of thing, you just go to either try out Nagios or Achinga. I recommend, if you try Achinga like I did, you search for docs Achinga objects. So go to this objects definitions and just read through these ones, the main ones: host, service, contacts, time periods, commands. The rest of it's pretty much extra, you don't need any of that, but just read through those, make all your options. And I just wrote out all my configs in 2 hours and set everything up, and it was all working within a couple hours after that. And now it basically saves me a lot of time in the end because I don't have to monitor any of my systems itself. I don't have to check if they have free RAM. I don't have to check if they have CPU. Like, I can come on this website and look at it, but I can also set limits, and if it passes certain limits it'll warn me, or it'll send me a critical, so it'll just send me email notifications on how the services are doing, whether they're bad or good. So you can see that all these are working. Let me just show you this. So I'll start going through the services I am monitoring. So on my Bitcoin miner, I am monitoring CPU. That's pretty much on all my computers. I'm monitoring CPU. I'm monitoring the GPU temperatures of each of my 2 GPUs on there. So that's really important. And I have it set to, I think I put 72C is when it's critical. And it'll send me an email when it hits the critical mark. And then I also have hard drive health. I have check any hard drives that support smart monitoring. I have it monitor. So that way I'll know if my hard drives start to die. So this is the beauty of it. I normally would never check that myself, and maybe if my computer warned me, but I have servers that aren't going to warn me. So I can set this up to check for me, and it'll do all the checks. So I'm going to, I'll go through the rest of these services, and then maybe in a week or 2, or maybe 3 weeks, I'll post the relevant information on how to set this up yourself. I'm not going to post my configs because they're very specific to my own needs, but I'm going to post any stuff that I did myself. Like, I wrote a couple of these plugins myself, just like simple scripts that warn or send critical messages if certain things happen. So I did that one for my WAN IP compared to my domain. So that just checks if my DNS changed, and if my dynamic DNS didn't kick in correctly, it'll send me an email. So that's one thing I did. I also set up the Nagios plugin on my FreeNAS box. So basically, you want to get the Nagios plugin if you can on all of your servers you're monitoring, and you can monitor the Nagios plugin with either Achinga or Nagios as your main monitoring server. So I'll show how I got it running on pfSense and on FreeNAS. On FreeNAS, it's not completely straightforward to get it because it's an embedded FreeBSD system, but with a couple commands you can get it all set up. So on my FreeNAS box, I'm monitoring CPU, again, free disk, and then all of my 6 hard drives in there. There's 5 hard drives and an SSD, and it checks the temperature and the smart health. Checking free memory, obviously, because it uses a lot of memory for FreeBSD, or for FreeNAS, the ZFS file system. So like you can see here, You can't really see, but I'll say I have 23% free memory. I don't have it monitor the UPS, but not warn me, because FreeNAS will already warn me instantly when the UPS goes out. I also have monitor my Zpool health, so this is great because say a disk dies, well within I have this one specifically check at once per minute. I'll be able to tell if my RAID is in a bad state, and I can go buy another hard drive or something or replace it. So that's for my FreeNAS box. The netbook, it's monitoring itself here. You don't need the plugin or anything. It'll just it's checking the SSD, memory, disk, CPU. Okay, pfSense box, it's checking CPU, a bunch of like 3 domains. It's checking if the IPs change for them. Free disk, because I'm running Squid on there, so it's filling up the SSD on there. Smart status. It can also check if web servers are up, so it can see if any errors come up. So this is checking varnish. And then on my web server, checking CPU, both hard drives, because they're in a RAID. There's 2 hard drives in there. Checking the RAID health, so that's just built in with MDADM, my RAID client on my web server. And then checking Nginx, so once again, checking a web server. And checking UPS stuff, because I have my web server hooked to UPS. So that's pretty much all the services I'm monitoring. Yeah, check out the docs, and I really recommend you do this. It'll save you time if you're system administrator or just me and just messing around with multiple servers and don't want to have to always check the health of them. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys later.